But let's move on. I'm sorry. Or go to you, defer to you. I'm gonna defer to you. We don't have to move on this.
Nah, man, you had a good point. When I when I watched the video, I just had a different perspective of qualifications. Initially I was looking at like stats and the how powerful stats are. Because, like I said, Oscar Robertson numbers are ridiculous. And
Hmm.
I thought about 10 years from now, how we're going to look at Russell Westbrook and James Harden. They're like James Harden 10 years is going to be ridiculous when he
Hmm.
retires. And when we look at his numbers, we're going to say something, and I'm like,
Got to
wow,
put him in a discussion.
yeah, he's going to be in the discussion, but we watched him in person, so our perspective is totally different compared to us learning about somebody else. Because we talk about like per 36, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Your per 36 make you look a certain way, but
That ain't how you play basketball.
I give you an example. If I'm dominating you and we up by 30 and I only played 20 minutes, my number's gonna look different than the game was close and we won by two.
Hmm.
So back to the greatest of all time, I'd like to look at them like stores. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan is like Walmart. Everybody go to Walmart. It's
Hmm.
convenient to go to Walmart because you see what you want. It's real simple. All the Walmart's the same. But like when I think of LeBron like Sam's. You know, you get it in bulk. It's cheaper, but you don't need all that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we can go all down the list comparing players and stuff. We got like, Vince Carter like going to the club. It's flashy, but everybody ain't that ain't for everybody.
But that video puts so much in perspective because again, if we go off straight stats, I don't know if you caught that or not. Nigga, Bob Pettit is in the discussion, right? If we going off stats
Yeah,
alone,
yeah.
27-13 or 27-13.
Hey, Elgin Baylor.
Man, like, and then they pointed out something. I still gonna take him. Tim Duncan is still my greatest, not the best, but greatest center of all time.
Not
But they,
anymore.
but they took his best statistical season, not his average, but his best, and put it up against what was it, Charles
Yes,
Barkley,
chart average.
his
It's
average.
and it was like Tim Duncan who?
Right, exactly. So, and then like what I use in my argument about LeBron, I said you take away his size, you take away his build, and now we're talking about skill. Like make him 6'6", make him not as beefy. You know what I mean? So with Tim Duncan, it's like, hey, going up against Charles Barkley, who's 6'5", and you averaging what this man's best is. So, I think it's a combination of what everybody talks about. Your team matters. The coach or the play style of the team matters. And I just feel like ultimately Jordan is that GOAT, but it probably has something to do with, a lot of factors that that played out in his favor that could have went differently. I said this in an argument with our classmate, or discussion, I'm not gonna say argument, but the discussion with our classmate. I was like, people killed Jordan talking about he didn't have competition. But me and you have said it in private before, like, come on now, like those guys who you're saying were no competition would kill now, would eat. And it wasn't anything for your shooting guards to be averaging 20 points a game back then. Like everybody did. But what made him special is he was the shooting guard averaging 30 in a time where centers and forwards were, supposed to be getting the accolades, and your shooting guard just contributed there. I ain't even gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 16 to 20. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. And then to sit there and be like Jordan didn't have no competition. That's what I said. Like people must be forgetting about Clyde, about Gervin, about Dumars, about Sidney, Moncrief, like Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, Byron Scott. Like they wasn't no clowns. They wasn't no bums. It's just the fact. Jordan, that's what made Jordan great. It's like we knock people for doing what made them great. Like he went out there and destroyed all those dudes, not counting the centers and the forward. If you notice, Magic, Isaiah, Bird, they ain't on this list either. These are just the shooting guards I named. And you sitting up here telling me like he ain't had no competition. Oh, and might I add, these are just your 80s and early 90s. This ain't counting the mid 90s, and after.
Yeah.
Which people, so to sit there and be like he ain't play nobody, like, come on. And Jeff Hornacek is not on this list, but Jeff Hornacek wasn't no bum either. Like, for real.
It was vicious. It was like, man, it's so crazy because back in the 80s and 70s, man, it wasn't nothing to do but ball. Nothing to ball.
And they did it without all this high tech stuff that we have now. Like we talk about it with our daughter. LeBron James grew up with AAU basketball, with somebody working on his footwork and agility. Like you can sit there and say he did it on his own, which it ultimately comes down to you. But it's like the equipment and the resources were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was the weights were there. Like, come on, like if you was given a Hummer in middle school or high school or whenever that was, it ain't no way you didn't have access to any weight, any type of equipment you want. There's no way you didn't have access to that if they getting you stuff like that. Jordan didn't have nothing like that. And not even Jordan. Let's just stop with Jordan. All the old players I just named didn't have nothing like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true right there.
So it's like, come on, like let's be real. It was straight skill. It was straight skill set. Like to me, I know he's not greater. Don't get me wrong, but Mitch Richmond is a if you look at his best years, or not even his best, just the total package of Mitch Richmond. As far as basketball, Mitch Richmond is a very skilled player like LeBron James. Now, I'm not saying he gives you the same result as LeBron James, but if we're talking about sheer basketball skill, you understand, like dribbling, being able to rebound, finishing at the rim, like I said, your footwork, all things considered, like that dude was dropping buckets.
Yeah, everybody had one though.
And that's what I'm saying. But that's the point of what made it special, because everybody has one now. Like another thing people don't realize is they shooting 15 to 20 more shots a game now than what they did in those 80s and 90s.
And like the people who can shoot now is different from back in the day. Everybody moved the ball around and everybody had a role. Nowadays,
Which is
it's
what
like,
I'm telling you, the flow of the offense. That's what I mean.
Now it's like, he gonna get us some buckets. I'm on the court. I'm on the court. I don't know what I'm doing on the court, but I'll figure it out. But I know he gonna get us buckets. Yeah.
And to do, like I said, to do what some of those people did, like Reggie Miller. Let's not even talk about Jordan. Reggie Miller. If Reggie Miller decided, I'm finna run ISO all day, not come off screen, not get other people, not get Mark Jackson, Tinsley, involved,
Antonio
then
Davis. Don't forget about Antonio Davis, bro.
yeah, like if he decided he was gonna do that, his point percentage might have went down, but I guarantee his points per game would have went up.
Percentages mean a lot, man. That's why we don't talk about like Iverson and stuff like that. Iverson put up numbers, but when you look at the numbers he put up, it's like, bro, you shot 40%. That's can't be can't be shooting 40%. Talking about you scored 27 points.
Very true. Very
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yep. So like, I think like when I got to the end of the video, I was inspired to like look at things in a different light that would help me understand how basketball is played differently throughout the years. I stopped being so focused on, well, you got to do A or B. It was more, wow, everybody does a lot and don't get credit, and don't complain about not getting credit. Cause Charles Barkley, bro, I never looked at Charles Barkley like that until yesterday. I
Yep.
was seriously considering Draymond Green better than him, bro.
No.
I was seriously sitting there like, well, Draymond, if he had a chance to beat Charles Barkley, and then I realized what Charles Barkley really was, because I know Charles Barkley for two reasons: at the beginning of his years, at the end of his years. Yeah, man. So like, I think like reviewing the criteria and listening and thinking about how everybody plays a certain way and most people view their play a certain way, it will alter your judgment when you're considering who's the greatest of all time. So, bruh, who? Final answer, bro. Who your greatest of all time, bro? Final answer.
All things considered, I still gotta go with MJ. He the most versatile game as far as with the eye test, not no per whatever, just what I saw. Footwork, the hand eye, on the ball, off the ball defense, his sheer will to win. The fact that we got to see him evolve as a player, like, and I don't want to open the discussion back up with closing, but let's just say Michael Jordan came in as an 85 or 80, his overall, like kind of like a 2K player. What edges on to his greatness is the fact we got to see him evolve to a 96, 97 player. So we got to see the increase through the years. It wasn't the same Michael Jordan. LeBron, let's say he came in at let's just say an 86. It's the same LeBron. The same LeBron in year one is the same LeBron in year, 15 or 7, whatever. He might have gone up to like a 85. I mean a 90. So we got to see a 4 point increase, But I haven't seen him other than incorporating a shot getting better. I ain't even gonna say fluent, but just better. There was nothing that I've seen him change his game, nothing I saw him borrow from somebody else or work on, a move that he got from somebody else. None of that. We've even got to see that, like I said, from Kobe Bryant. We got to see him change his game. We got to see him evolve from that. And for me and my criteria, at least, that matters. That counts. So MJ all day.